Hey, thanks for joining me on a special Mother's Day interview. And lo and behold, I have got my mother on here. She actually has quite an amazing life and a really cool story, much cooler than mine, honestly. Has done all sorts of stuff. I one time said she was kind of like the Forrest Gump with really all the different things she has done. But today I'm going to talk to her today, show some love, and just kind of show three of the coolest things I think she's done in her life and let her share. So, hey, Mom, how are you?
Howdy doody, I'm fine and dandy.
And you're in Little Elm, Texas, correct?
No, I'm in Fairview, Texas.
Where's Little Elm? Why do I say that?
It's south of us, about 10, 15 minutes.
Fairview, Texas. There's a street here
Fairview.
called Fairview. That's probably why I get
Yeah.
it confused. Um, and then you still have the home in Angel Fire. You guys go back and forth,
Yep, Angel Fire, New Mexico.
right? So, hey, I said you had so many things in your life, from scuba diving all the way to, I said a Forrest Gump almost. You did school teaching at one point. You didn't, worked at a nurse's
Dubbing.
office. Yeah, so all
Yeah.
these different things, but there was three really cool ones that I wanted to concentrate on. And I wanted people to hear your story a little bit. So the first one was being a flight attendant. I remember when I was a kid seeing that if you aren't an FA, then you ain't shit. It was on a button. I remember I never really
Yeah.
understood what it meant,
Yeah.
but I get it now. If you want to talk about that with Braniff.
Yeah. Braniff International is what we were called, Braniff Airlines. It was around way before I was born, which was 1950. And I mean, I was flying with flight attendants that were flying before I was even born. So between Braniff, American, and Delta, we were the top three dogs in the airline industry in the United States. And then with deregulation, Braniff ended up filing bankruptcy. But I hit all but I think two continents in my years of flying of 15 years. Had a wonderful life, and then Braniff filed bankruptcy a few days after you were born. May was 2 days ago. So, and you were born on April 25th. So it filed bankruptcy like on May 9th, I think, something like
Couple
that.
weeks after, yeah. So
Yeah.
I always it was such a robust and big company. Maybe it spread too quick, too soon, or something. And then I know
Yeah. Yeah.
you were asked to go to Southwest, wasn't that right? And you turned that down.
No, in the very beginning, I interviewed and hired with Southwest and Braniff, American and Delta. I just wanted to fly, and then I got hired by Southwest and Braniff at the time, and so I chose Braniff because I wanted to see the world. Southwest only flew to love, feel, and hobby, and that wasn't something I wanted to do. I wanted to see the world, so of course I chose Braniff.
Right.
So yeah,
And you said I think you would have been at the top or the first 10 stewardess
I
or
would have
something
been in
for
the flight
Southwest
first flight class.
for
Yeah.
Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, so
That's
I
great.
called him on my rotary phone, said, I won't be coming to your class. I got hired by another airline. And so,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course, those girls are worth a lot of money right now.
yeah, of course.
Yep,
That's a lot of the stock money alone. Jeez.
yep, yep.
Um, cool. Well, then my the coolest story I think is part of your journey, except for having your firstborn, of course,
Of
would
course.
be would be your stunt career. A lot of people don't realize you were a stunt woman for several years there in the Dallas area.
Yeah, yeah. So when Brana filed bankruptcy, and I had you at the time, and then I went back to flying, Brana reorganized, I went back to flying, then it filed bankruptcy again. And I was on unemployment, standing in unemployment lines with you in a little pack in front of me, And then I had a call from a girlfriend who we had signed on with a little modeling agency, and she called me. She said, "Oh, they're interviewing for the Jesse Owens story out in Denton." And of course, we were living in Dallas at the time, and so went out to Denton and worked on the Jesse Owens story as an extra. And of course, I was telling her, I don't want to be an extra. I don't want to be an extra, but I did. And we sat down for lunch, and a crew member came up and sat down to eat with us. And we found out we had mutual friends, mutual interests of riding motorcycles and golf. And he said, we have a stunt group out here, and you might be interested in doing this with us. And I said, sure, let's try it. I'm thinking, stunt group in Texas. So anyway, the rest was history. I got my SAG card and excuse me, had enough points to actually retire and collect my pension. So that's what I'm doing now. I worked on a lot of great movies in Dallas, Washington State, Louisiana.
I think
So
RoboCop was always my favorite that you did some driving
yeah,
in RoboCop, right? And then
yeah,
Free
I did drive.
Willy, Born on the 4th of July, you did minor stuff in, right?
Dante's Peak.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that one.
yeah. Dante's
Yeah,
and a
RoboCop was
few in
always
the
cool.
Santa Fe area. So yeah, I worked on some pretty good films, and um, and I worked on a lot of car commercials. So car commercials aren't necessarily
I remember.
stunts, but they trust stunt people to do their commercials professionally. So and you didn't have to, some commercials were non-union, so you didn't have to have your SEG card, but and then you get your residual checks, and so I still get royalty checks, residual checks, and my pension. So
Problem Child, you were in those
great
too,
life.
right? Problem Child.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then I remember there was a guy backing up and he hit you with the car and ran over your arm, right? I remember that you had to
That
get
was on a spoof, if everybody knows what spoofs are, and it was called Paramedics.
that
So
movie
yeah,
is great. It
I
was
was
great.
doubling a guy paramedic, and usually you don't double, guys don't double girls and girls don't double guys per union, but we were short-handed, so I got caught on the mirror. My clothing got caught on the mirror as the car backed out and drug me. And really weird, we were filming on a out of business hospital parking lot, I guess. The hospital had moved. So anyway, it was kind of ironic that I was on a hospital parking lot when it happened.
Yeah,
So I had
stunts gone
asphalt
wrong.
burns. Yeah.
I do admit you can ride a motorcycle, I'm sure, much better than I can. So that's sad to say for
Back in
me.
the day, maybe. Yeah.
And then you had a really great little golf career going. You have what, 2 hole-in-ones?
I have 2 hole-in-ones. I got
Yeah,
my handicap down to a 15. Loved playing 4 or 5 times a week there in Angel
yeah.
Fire. And and playing pickleball, but golf was the love at the time, but now not so much since I'm not able to uh
Yeah, well,
turn.
I was gonna jump into that, but yeah, now you're doing pickleball, and you've been doing it for so many years. And you started when you were up going, you were competing, doing all this stuff, and then unfortunately, we had the surgery and such, that with your cancer scare, and
Yeah.
uh, and now you're still playing in a wheelchair and stuff. Like you can walk fine. I mean, not walk fine, but
Yeah.
you really can't get back and forth like you could play. So you're playing in a
Right.
pick. It's a really a tribute to you're still pushing it. So.
Yeah.
And you competed what in the senior winter or senior winter
The
games?
Senior
Senior,
National Olympics in Albuquerque, and
yeah,
now this was all pre-back surgery. I had the rib surgery at the time, but I played standing at the time, 10 years standing, and competed in a lot of tournaments. And then I had 4 ribs removed due to the cancer. And then that's when I competed in Albuquerque at the Senior National Olympics. We were playing for gold, but took silver. And then I played in the U.S. Open in Naples, Florida, and I played in a lot of
yeah,
tournaments, over 100 medals. And they're hanging in a closet. They're no big deal. Some are really cool medals. Some are look like, I call them tin can lids.
right,
But yeah, they're pretty cool. Some are pretty cool.
yeah. So
Your girls will be getting those when the time comes.
of course, all the stuff we get. So yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to touch and highlight and do a Mother's Day share and let everybody know kind of a little bit about who you are and why you're so special. And I
Oh,
was thinking you were born in Janie Sue Bunch, and I was thinking it's Jamie Shuey now, and you just started going by Jamie instead of Janie. Is that right?
kind of as a tomboy, my nickname, my girlfriend's name was Sharon, and that's when Sonny and Cher came out. So she cut her name from Sharon to Cher. And I said, well, I'm going to put an extra hump on the end and make my name Jamie. So, and then in the pickleball world, I'm Jamie Elliott.
Yeah. Well,
Extra games. Yeah, Jamie Elliott. So,
cool.
so yeah, now I'm competing in my wheelchair, and because I'm not stable enough to move, and I named my wheelchair Barney after one of the founders of 1965 pickleball, and so me and Barney just go around everywhere playing.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, and again, it's Mother's Day. You have me and you have Aubrey and Asa, two of my brothers, and then we have Bailey, who's always been a
Yep.
big part of our family, who's like her sister. So,
Keeps
um,
you three in control, in check.
that's right.
And
That's right.
yeah,
And she has the only nephew that we got. So,
yeah.
that I have. I mean, yeah. So, at least on our side, right? So, all right, Mom. I love you very much. Happy
Well,
Mother's
I just
Day,
want to
and
say, where there's a wheel, there's a way.
of
Okay.
course. All
Everybody
right.
get up and get moving. No reason to stay in bed and stay on the sofa. Get up and get moving. There's more to life than sitting around. Where there's a wheel, there's a way.
See where I get it from. All right,
Love
Mom.
you.
Love you, Mama.